what is it that it comes with the paid version of Zuant?
Okay. So here we have the brand new corporate styling for a Lotus showroom. Lotus Cars have recently launched their new Emira sports car to compete with Porsche and even Ferrari. So they're very excited to roll out this new branding, this new in-store, in-showroom design to their dealers around the world. So this is the first one that's been completed. So you'll immediately see now that you've got this black box on the right-hand side, which is the navigation box that comes with the Pro and business and enterprise versions of Zuant 3D. And as you've seen, this just adds another dimension because as you've seen Dave walking through the Herman Miller showroom, yeah, it's quite nice to browse and wander around as you would in a real life store looking for the item you're particularly hunting out. But let's speed up that process and make that navigation much easier for the viewer. So on the right here, you've got a good example. You can create journeys through any space. Let's go into the showroom. I can look around and look at the cars that are on display, some of the older models, the historic Lotus products. And yeah, here's the new Emira, looks really nice. And the real show car is the one in Nimbus Grey. So let's navigate across to the Nimbus Grey Emira. Look at some of the stats, particularly interested in the engine. So 3.5 litre supercharged V6, 400 brake horsepower. That's pretty tasty. Lotus has often been criticized for having great handling and performance, but lacking in the interior quality and competing with the luxury side. So getting actually inside the car and looking at the fit and the finish looks pretty good. Let's go back, have another look at the outside. So we're sort of speeding up the process of looking at a vehicle. And wherever you are in a space, you can have a different narrative. You can have links through to more data on a website, and everything you do as a visitor through the black box navigation panel is recorded as one of those steps in the sales lead that Dave's been showing you. So I want to actually play around with the color schemes and the options. Well, let's wander across to the configuration table for the Lotus range. And here's an example, clicking off into the Lotus website itself. Actually, perhaps I'm interested in the new electric Lotus Hypers SUV, as they call it. And then we can go off and reserve the car, set up the different color schemes and so on.
And for clarification, we are still within the Zuant player, even though we are on the Lotus website.
Yes, it's still recording the fact that I've gone off from Zuant 3D, so that will still appear in the lead.
So we're in an embedded experience with a Zuant embed player within the Lotus website.
No, it's not embedded. It's just a link through to the website. So it's recording the fact that I've gone off.
So once you've clicked on that
configuration
link to to their website, to the Lotus website, then the tracking has stopped.
It hasn't stopped. It's paused because I've gone off into that area.
Yes.
But as soon as I come back into the experience, I'm still being recorded as I was before.
Okay.
In all of the steps and activities that I've taken.
Okay.
So
I see something in the bottom right.
yes, that's just a little dialogue box if you want to ask a question as part of your visit. So there's the opportunity to do that. And likewise, if I go off into the activity side, you'll see how that's all been recorded. Okay, so here we are. And yes, so it's giving me the time I've spent looking around the configurator on the separate website, as well as all of the other things that I've looked at during my time in that showroom.
I'm sorry, excuse me, Pete. So for clarification, since we can see where it says point, I presume that's a scan point. That's a rotation of the Matterport camera.
Yes.
And with a paid version of Zuant, you can label the scan points so that you can visualize what people were doing within the tour itself.
For sure, absolutely.
Okay.
And within the navigation panel, you can have different presentations of copy and text and links relating to what you're looking at from each scan.
Okay.